This looks really good. God. Let me shut you off. You're making too much noise. Okay, so. Why is it still flickering? That's really pissing me off. But okay. So today, big day. We're going to talk about Spider-Man, the trilogy by Sam Raimi. That's what we're talking about today. This is different because I always wanted to tackle movie analysis videos, movie reviews, critic. That's another part of me I like to do. So this is a video where you're gonna have to deal with that. And if you don't, I'll sue you with whatever money I have. So let's get started. Berries and cream, berries and cream.
And cream, berries and cream.
So, Spider-Man 1, my thoughts. I think it's a great way to introduce Peter Parker to the world for the first, well, it wasn't the first one, the one in the 90s was, but does anyone talk about that? No. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Sam Raimi's trilogy. So that's what we're talking about. Like, great way to introduce Peter into the world of cinema. His character arc in that movie, it was there. I'm not gonna lie. It was there. It was existent. He started out as Toothpick and he went to John Cena real quick. Getting bit by Radius Factor. I do not like that he shoots webs out of his wrist. That kind of icked me out. I'm glad in later adaptations that they used a machine to do it. Then the como se dice the wrist. Yeah. I think the overall story was pretty good. I think they set up the characters well. Mary Jane, the actress, Harry Osborn, the rich boy, Flash Thompson, bully, Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, villain, Aunt May, the motherly figure, and Ben Parker, Uncle Ben, father figure, because his parents were inexistent. So I think it was really good setup, really good start. I will say though, William Dafoe's Green Goblin, if he comes back, I'll be here for it because it was a great performance, not gonna lie. When I'm seeing Green Goblin in the screens, excuse me, I don't know what that was, but when I see him on the screen, he's like an actual threat. Like there's certain villains you see that are not a threat, but Green, he's a threat because he literally blew up a building, and he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. This man, and he tried to play Peter at the end. Peter was not fighting for that shit. He let that man eat his own glider, and then Harry hates him for like the rest of the whole timeline. So Spider-Man 1, I'll give it a solid 8. Now on to the sequel. Spider-Man 2, the best out of the whole trilogy, hands down. This movie is actually really good, to be honest. It's really good. I can't say that it's bad. It gives us a moment in Peter's life where he's trying to balance being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. Two separate things, but he has to choose one to live his life. As you can see, we have MJ, because in the last movie, he said he couldn't date MJ, given the way his life was, because she didn't know he's Spider-Man, so she thought he's like, oh, he does not love me, he does not care. So she went and married, what's that guy's name? J. Jonah Jameson's son. I don't know his son's name. Irrelevant. They don't get married anyway. And then Harry's in this whole movie like, I hate Spider-Man. Peter, you stole my girlfriend. She loves me now. Peter, it's a whole squabble. And then, yeah. Peter also, like, it's a really good movie because when he's feeling down in the dumps, his powers do not come to him. You can see he has to go to the doctor to figure this shit out, and because he can't on his own. He does not know how, so yeah, I like that. Doc Ock, I really like Doc Octopus. Like, his origin story was there. It was a moment. We were here for it. It really set him up for No Way Home, since we know he's going to be in the movie now, because the trailer dropped like a month ago. But yeah, we know he's going to be there now, and I'm here for it. His whole villainous thing was actually really cool because he got into Peter's head. he knew who Peter was eventually, and then he tried to deliver him to Harry, who tried to kill him but didn't. So, like I said, here for it. It's a moment. We're living it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the movie. Rating, I turned you off like 5 times. Why are you go? It's my printer. I'm about to bust her up. Just kidding. I would never hit a woman, but it's not a woman. It's the object. So fair game. Okay. So rating 10 out of 10. Obviously, it's a fantastic movie. Good movie. Go watch it. If you're sitting on your butt doing nothing, go watch Spider-Man 2. If you're doing homework but it's not due for 2 weeks, do your homework and then watch the movie. Do it. Just do it. It's not hard. Just do it. Anyways, that's Spider-Man 2. Now on to the sequel of Spider-Man 2 to complete the trilogy. Now this one. Cringy dancing, emo Peter Parker. So many villains. It was a lot. It was wow. You know, I used to shit on this movie so fucking hard. Like, I saw it in my childhood. I've seen it over 10 times, so you'd think I know the movie from the back of my hand. But when I saw the ending, and this goes for Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, because I saw that in 2018, so it was fresh in my mind. But the endings for those 2 movies were completely different from what I remember. Completely. Like, it's just wow. So Spider-Man 3, you basically have Peter being happy, living his life. He wants to marry MJ. That's goals. We're here for it. It's a moment. And then, because Harry now knows who Peter is, they have beef. It's just gross. So, yeah. But earlier in the movie, Venom pops up from an asteroid that came down the sky. And then Sandman, Flint Marko, is on the run from the cops. So throughout this whole movie, basically sum it up, Harry gets mad at Peter, goes to fight Peter, loses his memory. Venom asteroid comes crashing down. Flint Marko escapes. Peter stops him. Peter brags about it to MJ. Messes with Gwen Stacy a lot. Who wouldn't? Steele meets the new photographer, Eddie Brock. Finds out Brock is framing his shit later in the movie. Then he gets the symbiote, becomes evil emo, cringy dancing all up in the street. Busts up Flynn Marko, thinks he's gone for good. Doesn't happen. Realizes the symbiote suit's messing with his life and his friendship because he ends up breaking with MJ completely. Then fights Harry again. Harry loses again. Gets a fucked up scar in his face. No one talks about that. But that happened. Ooh, Eddie Brock gets the Venom. Finds out Peter's identity. Teams up with Sandman, who escaped. Cause a tower, cause a disturbance. Harry eventually realizes to join forces. Then they fight, save MJ. Harry dies. Flint and Peter have a moment. Eddie dies. Movie moves on with the tearful ending. I will give it that. It made me fucking cry my eyes out. Holy shit. I have to censor that. Well, it's not like I'm getting demonetized anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So this movie, like I said before, it's not as bad as everyone said it is. It's a solid 7 out of 10. I will give it that 7. Here's why. While I do get why some people say it's bad, because it was tackling so many stories all in one, and it was kind of a lot to do. Even Sam Raimi does not like this movie. He even said it on Twitter, which I kind of understand. Like, if you're not proud of something you put out, that's okay. Like, there's so many videos where I'm editing and I'm ready to post it, but then I'm realizing I don't like it, so I delete it and then I'm starting it. And that's something we all go through. So I understand completely why he did not like the movie. In my eyes, I think it's a good movie. I really do, because, like I said, the ending, when Peter and MJ are dancing, like I put it in the beginning just so y'all can get ready for this. But that scene really took, because the music in there is like tearful. It's, to be honest, I know this was not his intention at all, but this was the perfect way to end the trilogy. Because if you look at the ending closely of Spider-Man 3, you'll know that there's hope for Peter and MJ. They're moving on with their lives. That's pretty much what you get from that scene. But it was a good way to end the movie nonetheless. So yeah, you'd probably think there's nothing else to talk about, but oof. As you know, there was a planned sequel to the third one. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the villains out of the whole trilogy, and then we're going to talk about the characters, but we're probably going to talk about the characters before the villains, and then overall what I think about this trilogy. So let's talk about the unreleased, canceled, nowhere to be seen Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 would have came out 10 years ago, actually. 10 years, yeah. Crazy, right? So, as you know, because he did not like the way he set up the third one. Sam Raimi did not like it. So, when he's writing the fourth one, he was trying as hard as doing his best, but he overall threw away the project and moved on. And then that's why I think it's Mark Webb's Spider-Man started coming out the year after he threw away the project. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. In this movie, it would have been Peter moving on with his life, figuring shit out still, and then Vulture comes out of nowhere. He's dealing with Harry's death, and then that's all I know about the movie, to be honest. And then it'll be him and MJ, then Vulture. Just know the Vulture was the villain of the movie. Hold, let me check, because there has to be more stuff about this movie. I need the fan on for a minute, but I found, oh god, it's so hot in here. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. So, Spider-Man 4 was actually not going to just be about the Vulture. It was going to have Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, and then it was going to have Mysterio. There's a lot of things going on in this movie. Like I said, it was about Peter and MJ trying to reconcile their differences and relationship and dealing with Harry's death. And then Vulture comes in, Felicia Hardy, Black Cat comes in, then Mysterio. And then at some point they were going to try to make Curtis Connors become the Lizard, because that's who he is in the comics, and that's who he is. But they did that in the Amazing Spider-Man separate video about those movies, because wow. But pretty much would I like to see Spider-Man 4? No, and here's why. Because the way it ended, I think it's perfect to leave it as it was. Like, it was a really good ending. It was. I loved it. It made me cry, like I said. So when I think about Spider-Man 4 coming out, I would have loved to see it, but in a complete different universe. Like, if you made it about Miles Morales, sure, but not Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. I think he should just let him live his life with MJ. That ending was pretty solid for it to have no more in. So if that was his intention originally, 10 out of 10, Sam Raimi, you did a fantastic job. But if not, then I don't know. I wouldn't have liked to see the fourth one, but in a different, complete universe or light. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Let's talk about the characters. Peter went through some shit. Peter Porker went through so much. His uncle died. His aunt got evicted. His best friend, his father, was his first villain. He unintentionally avoided, I don't know what his thing was called, his ship, and it killed his father, and then Harry ended up hating him. Ooh, that was a lot for the first one. Second movie, his mentor, who he admired most, became a villain, kidnapped his girlfriend, tried to kill her. Had to deal with Harry hating on Spider-Man, had to deal with trying to balance his life. Damn, fuck, I feel so bad. And the third one, he got overconfident, cocky. This was kind of his fault. He just did not know how to word stuff to Mary Jane, because he kissed Gwen, and then he didn't think MJ would see when he knew she was there. So, and he did not really explain himself. And then, what's it called? They break up. He becomes a douchebag because of the symbiote and everything that's happened in his life about Flint Marko being the killer. They didn't find the killer. He's just pissed off. Eddie Brock trying to steal his job. It was just a lot for Peter, not gonna lie. So yeah, I think he kind of pulled himself back together towards the third act of the movie. Let's talk about Harry. Harry, you have daddy issues for sure. It's pretty obvious. You're dating MJ. I did not see them lasting long. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did not see them lasting long because it just does not look like it was gonna work. MJ, she was dating first. She was dating Flash, and then she went to Harry. Okay, that's a good in way to I don't know where I was going with that. That's a good way to move from a toxic situation to another kind of toxic situation. Because you saw the way his dad was talking about her and he just disregarded it. Harry, I had to stop rooting for you, bud. You gotta support your girl. Peter, her and Peter, I mean, I kind of get where she was going, to be honest, because she loved Peter. She really did. And when Peter said no, it was kind of like a stab to the heart for her. And then she moved on to the paper guy's son. I say J. Jonah Jameson's son, whatever. Yeah. So she, yeah. MJ, well, I didn't even talk about MJ. Wow. She's an actress. She got told she was a bad actress and they fired her. Like, wow. That was her dream. She, like, wanted to do that with a passion, with a flaming hot passion, and then it just fired her. So, but she got her groove back a little bit. She did. She got her groove back. I'm not gonna lie. Who else? Oh, there's the freaking landlord and her daughter. They're pretty chill though, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the landlord himself was kind of annoying in the second one, but he mellowed out in the third one because he understood what Peter was going through, not gonna lie. Which, kudos to him. He's chill. Daughter though, she was trying to get in Peter's pants. On God, she was trying to get that Spider-Man. Yeah, she just wanted it for sure. And it was pretty obvious, but they didn't go anywhere with that, and it's okay. Aunt May, man, she lost her husband. She lost her house. Oh man, I feel bad for that woman. And the actress is still thriving today, not gonna lie. Like, she's been around for a minute. Holy shit. Like, if I died before her, I wouldn't be surprised. Because she is, wow. Just wow. Trailblazer, nonetheless. I talked about Harry, I talked about MJ, I talked about Peter. Who else? Okay, let's talk about the villains. So there's really, to be honest, the villains in these trilogies were solid. Goblin, Norman, his origin story is they experimented on him, it went wrong, very wrong, and he went cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs. And yeah, that's the same thing that really happened with Doc Ock. No, Doc Ock, he didn't go cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs. His wife got killed, his experiment went wrong, he lost all his money, his tentacles malfunctioned, and then he went cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs because he was listening to the tentacles. So he did go cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs, but to a lesser extent in which Norman did. Both solid origin stories. I mean, rich guy, another rich guy. I'm glad that he actually, Green Goblin from this trilogy might come back. I'd be here for it. I would. Good, solid villain. Sandman's story is so sad. So sad. To be honest, I was hoping he wasn't the one that killed Uncle Ben. I really hoped it wasn't him. I really wish it was the other guy, but the other guy pushed him because he was gonna stop. So, while he did have the gun and pulled the trigger from the intent to kill Uncle Ben. So I'd be able to no, because he still pulled the trigger. So and he ran away. So yeah, his thing with his daughter though, like if you watch a deleted scene, he made a sandcastle for his daughter. It was the cutest thing ever. His daughter was sick, so he was cute. Like the whole conversation between him and Peter at the end of Spider-Man 3. Wow, I mean, it took Peter let go of a lot of things to forgive him. Because I think Peter started to understand why he did what he did. Like, it wasn't intentional to kill Uncle Ben. It was an accident, and he had to deal with that, and he had to forgive and forget. Because if Peter lived his life full of revenge, he would have still went emo. He would have embraced the symbiote, not letting it go. Speaking of symbiote, let's talk about Venom. Venom, I did not like Eddie the moment he walked in. He was like a serial. He was dating Gwen, which I mean Gwen Stacy, the model, the sign. Why are you? I'm about to beat you up. Okay, dating Gwen Stacy is like, I mean, it's Gwen fucking Stacy. I did not see that lasting long either, because she was messing around with Peter too. Like, she liked Peter. She liked Spider-Man better than Eddie. Understandable. He tried to come for Peter's neck, his job, which I understand in the world. Like, when you're even doing anything in the world to get higher up, you gotta crap pull, but you don't cheat while doing it. Eddie cheated, and cheaters never prosper. Unless in school, because you can cheat on assignments or Zoom. It's not cheating in school if you get caught. Do not cheat otherwise in other life. Actually, don't cheat at all. Just don't cheat at all. But yeah. He now I know why he succumbed to the Venom, because symbiote same yeah. So I understand why he succumbed to it, because he's at the church scene. He's already lost everything: his girlfriend, his job, the potential to take pictures on a camera. He lost everything. He wanted Peter Parker dead. So I don't think there's really anything coming back from Eddie. Venom, though, was pretty good at manipulating these two. He was pretty good at manipulating these two. He came in from the sky and said, "I'm gonna fuck with all y'all," and he just ran with it. Would I recommend these movies to watch? Yeah, 100%. I think you should go watch it before you watch No Way Home, any of the other, the duology by Mark Webb, and Watts' Spider-Man in the MCU. That one. Or the Spider-Verse one. You should watch the whole trilogy before you watch any other one of those. This trilogy, it's been with me since I'm a kid. Like I said, I've seen Spider-Man 3 on road trips. And then because I would watch my brother play the game adaptation of the movie, so I knew everything. It was kind of there, but I don't know why I remembered it different when I was a kid than I remember it now. Like, that, apparently that happens a lot. I did not realize that. But you should definitely watch these movies. I think it's a perfect introduction for Spider-Man. All that's going to be talked about today. If you like me to review movies more, I will. There's going to be more coming. Even if you don't want it, it's coming. I love doing it. I think talking about movies is so fun, and seeing how far they came, it's fun, and I like it. So I'm going to keep doing it. And if you don't like it, that's okay. I got other videos I want to do that are going to be probably more centered to your liking. But I'm also going to do stuff I love, and I love doing both of these, so it's a win-win situation for me. Pretty much it. If you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe, do everything. I'm craving attention, as you can see. So I'll see you guys next time. Ew. Okay, bye.